Crafters, it's day 15 of the 30-day craft room challenge, and that means you are halfway through. And so it might be a good time to remind you that there are prizes for participating. So hopefully you are tracking with us and trying to get as organized as you can. So today we're talking about how to organize our coloring tools. And as I've been working on this challenge, I've been noticing that us crafters have a lot of different coloring tools. So let me show you some ways that I organize mine. So again, I've got these Sterilite drawers that I probably found at Goodwill, but I have one that I labeled spritzers. So this is something that Stampin' Up! Sells, and you can fill with different re-inkers or water or something like that. Then I have another drawer there labeled Wink of Stella. So I have several of those that I can use in a class. And then I labeled the other one blender pens and aqua painters. Now, Stampin' Up! Actually just announced that their supplier for the aqua painters won't be able to produce these anymore. So we are looking for a new supplier for those. But blender pens are an amazing tool that I love. Actually, the first product I ever bought from Stampin' Up! Were blender pens. But so I use a Sterilite drawer over here to organize those. The other thing might be brayers. So if you remember, I keep my brayer up there by my heat embossing station, but previously Stampin' Up! Had sponge brayers. And so I had these in just a little jar. So that's another way that you could organize your. Next we have daubers, and these are a fun way to apply ink to a project. And so you can purchase these, I believe, in a set of 5. And then I make sure to label them so you can see the color. And then I try and create like a column for the red, the orange, yellow, green, blue, etc., and the rainbow. And then this is a handy duty case that you can use for traveling or just to set on your shelf. But it's a great way to try and have all the colors and to keep those organized. I love watercolor pencils. I actually, when I buy a set, I put them in a clear stamp case, and I've got a couple sets so that when I have a class, I've got multiples. But this is an example of a little bin that I found at Goodwill that's in my favorite color, and it just fit perfectly. So it also holds my soft pastels, and it just sits, keep this over by my markers. And then lastly, I want to talk about our blending brushes. So this is a product that Stampin' Up! Introduced a couple years ago, and they first started with the regular size, and they look like this. They come in a pack of 3. And if you want to just use the 3 that come initially, you'll just need to rinse them out with warm water before you switch to a new color. So for me, I wanted 1 for every color, not all 54 colors, but 1 for, just orange. And so here I label them using some tags that were made by one of my friends who has a 3D printer. And if you want, you can check out the link in the description below for these. So I do just try and keep 1 for each color. But when Stampin' Up! First came out with them, they did not have a holder. So I went to Stampin' Storage and got this one. They sell it in many different sizes. This one holds, I think, 18 brushes. So I've got several empty spaces back there. But one of the things I don't love about it is that you actually can't even see the tag. When it's sitting on my shelf, you just can't see what the tag is. So you sort of have to pull it up to see what color it is, because sometimes you can't really tell by the actual ink that's on the brush. Then, not too long after, Stampin' Up! Came out with the mini version. And so instead of investing in another set of these tags, I decided to just label the back per color, and that works just fine. And at the same time, I believe, Stampin' Up! Came out with their own little stand for it. So this stand holds 9. And where I can see it pretty well is when you turn it around and you can see the colors back here. So I do like how this one sits on my shelf. So I have 1 for the big size and 1 for the regular size. You can see down there. And then, just to encourage you, one of the prizes for participating in this challenge is one of the blending brush storage trays. So hope that's some kind of motivation for you to keep working on this challenge, and make sure you post your pictures of how you store your coloring tools over in the Stamp with Cheryl Facebook group. See you tomorrow.